KurtBusch wins again? Gosh, Jeff Burton. Got to give it to Jeff. Played it perfectly again. This time he got some results. And KurtBusch, I tell you, Dodge, for having only a couple teams down here, they're 2-0. Kurt doesn't have a dancing partner. Finds him where he can. Worked it perfectly and won the first 150-mile shootout. Daytona International Speedway, Mike Mullen from MikeMullen.net. And Jeff Burton wins the second one. The closing rate, visibility, these guys got some problems. The problem is, NASCAR doesn't have any tools left. The track is too smooth. You slow them down with a slower plate. That's the second time they've done a smaller plate here. It doesn't change the closing rate. Changes the speed a little bit. Closing rate is still too dramatic. Or rather, we should say the track is too narrow. It works at Talladega, 4, maybe even 5 wide. Here, you're hard-pressed to get 3 wide. And if the two guys in the sandwich squeeze out the guy in the middle, big trouble. Talked to Denny Hamlin about that. Talked to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson about that. 3 wide, it's iffy. And the leader of a 2-car draft, 2-car drafts are still the rule, and everybody I talk to says that's the way it's going to be here at Daytona for the next several years until this track gets worn or gets bumped down in one where they have to back off. They can draft all the way around here. People say that visibility is bad. The guy in front leading the 2-car draft is riding a cannonball. The guy behind can't see anything. He's pushing to beat the band. 2-man draft, the leader, no control. The guy behind ain't going to back off. The guy in front, he better find a hole. And a lot of times, that hole closes up by the time you get there. So, it's Friday morning at Daytona. Truck race tonight. And I think they got the same problems we got on Sunday's race. And they got the nationwide race, and I can't wait to see what Danica does with all this stuff. NASCAR's got its hands full. We talked to Richard Childress. We talked to Jeff Gordon. Everybody's pretty much resigned that NASCAR's played about all the cards it's got. It's up to the drivers to make something happen, and I don't know. I got a bad feeling about some of this stuff. Too fast? Well, the speeds are just as well. 205 is what I got on some of that GPS stuff. Maybe a little bit slower than what it was last Saturday night. But the speed's not the issue. Engine durability, drivers and engine builders alike say, was probably solved by NASCAR's cooling system stuff. I still don't like the idea of trying to make the engines hotter to slow the cars down. That to me is backwards. I think that you should have all the cooling you want, but slower plates, well, slower plates don't do the job either. The closing rate. What do we do about the closing rate? Jeff Gordon says a taller rear spoiler and a bigger plate. Dale Earnhardt Jr. says maybe a bigger plate. Well, it's Friday morning. Let's go over to the NASCAR trailer and see if we can find out what they've been dreaming up overnight. Mike Mullen from MikeMullen.net. Another day at Daytona.